Hey class, welcome to night school. I'm Mr. Burns. I am leaving for Japan in about 1 hour and 20 minutes, so I figured let's get one more video out there. So we're going to do the hits and misses of the newest expansion, Attack of the Vine. And if you've watched all of my set review videos, which you can do in a playlist on the channel, you already know my initial thoughts on everything, but this is about 5 to 7 days later when you're seeing this. So yeah, some things may have changed, and some people don't want to sit through all those videos. I completely understand it. So let's just get into it. All right, first miss. I'm going to start with the top 8 misses, first of all, because, well, if I make you upset and you comment, it will help the algorithm. And you have to wait to the end to see if I agree with the ones that you like. So, all right, first one was Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. So, just because I think something is a miss does not mean I think it's a bad card or that it won't see play per se. I actually think this card's insanely powerful. My problem is it's 4 willpower, right? It gets swept up into like all of the common removal in the game, especially now with Gaston and World's Greatest Criminal Mind seeing more play than ever. Thunderbolt, stuff like that. It's a scary one to throw out there, especially if you shift onto it and get yourself 2 for 1. That being said, I really want to play the 1 cost Tinkerbell anyway in a lot of my Ruby decks, so it's nice that I have a shift target that's not just eating up space in my deck. All right. Number 7, we have Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, unlikely pair. And in my opinion, it's going to be unlikely that you get a lot of value from this card as well. One of my favorite things it can do is it can sing a 5 cost song when you shift it on turn 3. My problem is it does a really bad job at protecting itself, and it's not in a great ink combination to protect it. It's actually in an ink color that would give your opponent's characters reckless, which will then have to challenge it. So, yeah, if you shift this on 3 and then you use it to quest and draw a card and discard a card, you are certainly not going to be able to play the character that you discard off of it. And there's a high likelihood that this card will also be banished. So you're going to have to kind of just shift it on 3, wait a turn, and hope it does not get banished by something like Thunderbolt or Strength of a Raging Fire. Or you're going to be shifting it later and it's going to be really ink intensive, where you could have just hard casted it, but then it's an undercosted or overcosted, understated character. So that's my number 7. All right, number 6, we have Mushu, the Stealthy Dragon. I think this is a fine card. My problem with it is just like the Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, it gets swept up in a lot of the common removal in the game. So people are already wanting to play evasive characters so that they can challenge down Dumbos that may be exerting. And people are going to be playing angels and stuff like that that just deals 2 damage to any character. And this being a 3/2 is such a liability. So, fine card. I even included it in a deck that will be coming out soon, but it's still a miss for me. Next, we have Todd and Copper. So 4 cost, 3/3, quest for 2, shift 2, and it has evasive. It is an 1 rate card. But do I really want to shift it on turn 2? For something that is an 1 rate card, I don't know if I want to effectively skip my first turn and also effectively discard a card from my hand because I'm not going to be able to do anything with the card that's under this one. Um, it has the same problem where people are going to want to play things like Jebediah in their deck to deal with Dumbo. So because of that, this is going to be a scary card to shift. And then if you're just hard casting it, it's essentially a French vanilla that's 1 rate, nothing to write home about. So this is one of the rare teams that like I really don't think I'll ever play, if I'm being honest. The Horned King. Yeah, so Uninkable really, really hurt this one in my book, but also just the fact that it does nothing the turn that you play, and it does nothing when it's banished, unless, shout out to a subscriber who commented, You could technically use something like Powhatan's staff to put this into play exerted, and then like return a bunch of Olafs and stuff like that. That at least is very interesting, but may not be the most competitive strategy. So if this you get to play this character and this character actually survives until your next turn, you might just win the game. So it's still an okay card. I'm not going to fault people for putting it in their deck, but the Horn King is so iconic, so vicious. Everyone is so afraid of him in the movie. I would have loved if he was just a little bit beefier in the card game. All right, Buzz Lightyear, providing cover. So 4 costs, uninkable, 4/2, quest for 2. And when you play him, if you have a toy, choose both. Otherwise, choose one. You return an action with cost 2 or less from your discard to your hand. You may play an action with cost 2 or less for free. This is a fine card. The Woody I actually think is fantastic in the same vein as this Buzz. However, the actions are just really lacking, especially to have a 4 cost uninkable in your deck. So all right, number 2, we have Mike Wazowski. 2 costs, uninkable, 0/4, quest for 1. When you play this character and whenever he quests, each player reveals the top card of their deck. If it's a character, they put it in their hand, otherwise put it on the bottom of their deck. Viewer disagreed with me when I did my full set review, and that's awesome. I think I said it in that set review. I hope I'm wrong about a lot of cards and that I learn and that I can be better at evaluating things going forward. I'm still just seeing this card played, not a fan of it at all. I personally would not be playing it week 1. Maybe someone comes up with something I'm missing, maybe a big bodyguard deck, something like that. But I just don't really like this symmetrical effect where I'm the one investing everything into it. So for that reason, it's number 2. And number 1 is Merida. So 4 costs, uninkable, 3/3. May enter play exerted to draw a card. Quest for 1. During your turn, whenever another character of yours enters play exerted, you may draw a card. 90% of the time, you're going to pay for ink, you're going to put this into play exerted, you're going to draw a card, and you're going to do nothing. Yeah, not much to say about it. I said more in my set review if you are interested. Now my number 8 in my top 8 favorite cards of the set. So number 8, we have Hades, 6 cost, inkable, 5/5, ward, quest for 3. It does scare me. Ward is such a powerful effect, and just because it scares me doesn't mean I should be scared away from it. It's just feels so good for a 6 cost in Sapphire specifically. This is just one of those things that can lock your opponent out of winning the game unless they have something that can exert your entire board like Demona. Number 7, Red Alert. Brawl was basically an automatic 4 of in most Ruby decks, and this is just a beefed up Brawl. Yes, it costs 25% more, but it banishes a character that has 3 strength instead of 2, and sometimes you can gain a lore. I think most decks that's not even going to matter. Just seeing inkable interaction out of Ruby again feels so good, and for that reason, it's number 7. Number 6 is Morph. I think Morph is better than ever just by being a 1/2. Just like I was saying about Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, it's weird how just flipping a stat line can make something so much better. We don't have the same shifts that we had when Morph was originally printed in Emerald. However, the game's going to last the next 5, 10, 15 years. You never know what's going to be printed. You never know what's going to be printed in the next couple of sets. And there are definitely cards that I'm sure the game developers were not expecting us to be able to shift easily, and Morph is going to enable that. All right, next up we have the Red Moon Ritual. 7 cost, uninkable, song, sing together 7, banish chosen character. Not much has to be said about it. It's effective, it's removal. Unfortunately, it's uninkable, but it's Ruby, so, for the same reason the Red Alert even made the list, we're used to it being uninkable at this point, and it's just a solid card. All right, next up we have Merlin, Envisioning the Future. This one I am very excited about, and I think it is an incredibly powerful card. I'm not sure if we could play it in a world without Sail and Tipo. It's a 4-cost unequal 1/4 quest for 2. When you play this character, you may draw a card from the bottom of your deck. When this character is banished, put all cards from your discard on the bottom of your deck. Again, I went into more detail in the set review, but I really like that I can play things like Develop Your Brain and actually find those cards again if I have to. I don't feel like, wow, I just put the game-winning card on the bottom of my deck on turn 1 or 2. All right, next up we have a Maleficent and Diablo. So 7 costs, inkable, 6/5, quest for 2, shift 5, and that may be not the case because you can put 5 character cards from your discard on the bottom of your deck in any order to shift this character for free. Free is for me, free is broken. And if we just stopped there, I think the card would be fine. It would be a playable card, but we don't stop there. During your turn, whenever this character exerts, draw a card. What do I say, class? Yes. Draw more cards, win more games. Good job. A+, you get a golden star. Next, we have Malin Lee. So maybe my Amber Steel biases are showing a little bit, but I love me an Ariel. And imagine if that Ariel could also find another Ariel. It may not have Singer 5, but we also don't have a whole new world in this whole new world of post rotation, right? So I think the fact that when you would miss on this, because you're only playing 20 or so songs, the fact that you have 3 more options in the other 3 Malin Lees in your deck makes this card incredible, on top of the fact that you could just play some other amount of Panda characters in your deck just as a silver bullet, one of, so on and so forth. So number 1 most anticipated card of Attack of the Vine is, of course, not that. It's not Potato. Sorry, Twitter. That's not it. All right, number 1 is Gaston, obviously. Everyone is so high on this card. People are jamming it as a 4 of in almost every Amber deck they can, and for good reason. Like, we were happy to play World's Greatest Criminal Mind in previous formats, varying levels on and off. The fact that it is on a body, the fact that it can sing for 5 is insane. And the fact that you are probably playing this on curve with the character that you are banishing from your opponents, I think this card is the reason that you cannot play things like the Horn King, right? If you play the Horn King and I play Gaston, I may have just won the game. Like, you've skipped your entire turn for absolutely no value. This card is absolutely phenomenal, and I think that it is going to make Amber probably the most played color, at least until the next set comes out. So yeah, let me know what you think. That's my top 8 hits, my top 8 misses, and I'm gonna go spend some time with my misses before I head out to Japan. So thank you all for being here.